I'm Demi Lou. I go to Fernwood Avenue Middle School, and I'm from the Egg Harbor Township School District. And currently, I'm all virtual. So,
Hello, I'm Patrick McCline. My school is in the hybrid or virtual, both are options, and I go to MSC at Lee's Middle School in Absecon, New Jersey.
My name is Shelby Tyndall. My school is in a hybrid or remote, and I go to Weymouth Township.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name's John Cobb. I go to Estelle Manor School, and I'm a part of the Estelle Manor School District. And our school offers fully remote, hybrid, or in-person learning, and I personally am using the in-person learning.
My name is Osarema Unoigbe. I go to Alder Avenue Middle School, and I'm in the EHG School District. Currently, my school is offering hybrid and all remote virtual learning, and currently I'm doing hybrid 2 days a week.
So I feel like this year it's been a big change to constantly having to wear masks and maintaining the 6 feet rule, especially like during class or in class activities.
The hardest adjustment is since that I'm fully remote, there's not a lot of socializing with my classmates all the time. So that's the hardest part.
I think one of the hardest things of this school year is like just connecting with people, I guess. It's harder to like form a connection with your teachers when you're all virtual because, you're on a computer and stuff and you're not able to talk face to face with your teachers. And I think it's harder to learn like that because I feel like person to person connection is important when it comes to school and stuff. So
This year, the hardest adjustment for me has been being alone by myself for more periods of time and not really interacting with people or socializing with them because I'm a big people person. So it's definitely been a hard adjustment for me.
Some of the adjustments that have affected me directly are having to wear a mask all day. My classroom is now in the cafeteria. The aspect of socializing throughout the school day is no longer there. And one of the biggest adjustments for me is that my school is not allowed to participate in any sports or activities.
A positive experience would be that a lot of the teachers are more lenient and are willing to go back and reteach everything if one person's having trouble. So learning in school has become a lot easier for me.
I found that I've started to pick up more hobbies and stuff, especially when like the time period between March and September, like I actually had nothing to do, so I found a lot of like old hobbies that I've dropped before because I just didn't have enough time to do them, and I started to like practice them more or like do them more, I guess, and it's been pretty fun doing those kind of things again.
So, with so much time on my hands at home, I've been able to learn more about myself. I've been able to partake in hobbies that I enjoy. And I've also learned that it's okay for people to be alone sometimes, and some people just need that break to themselves. So I've learned to enjoy being alone.
So I think a positive from COVID and this whole experience is that we were given the virtual platform. So I think that it helps us stay in touch and keep connected with our teachers and schoolwork at all times. So I think it's different for a lot of people. Some people may find it a lot more helpful that they have more time on their hands, maybe when they're at home with virtual. And some people may find it not as serious, like they're not sticking to the same schedule they are like when they go to full in-person school. So they don't have to wake up, maybe brush their teeth, take a shower, do all their morning routines right away as quickly.
I think it all depends on the person, but I think that some classmates might have a little bit too much time to dwell on their thoughts, kind of thinking of bad things, and like their mental health might take a really bad toll with this whole pandemic and staying at home. But I bet some of my classmates are really enjoying staying at home, Some of them may not like waking up early in the morning and going to school. So I think a lot of them do enjoy it, but I also think a lot of them may not enjoy it.
It's very different for a lot of kids. I know some kids are finding it much easier to get work done, but a couple of kids are having a lot of trouble doing everything digitally. So that's causing them to get behind on their work and stuff. But for the most part, a lot of kids have been doing very well with learning.
Similar to like everybody else's response, I think that a lot of people are benefiting off of it, but also a lot of people have taken like quite a toll from it, because I know a lot of people who depend on the security of a schedule. So having like their routine like suddenly change literally like in the span of 2 weeks stressed them out a lot. And a lot of people, although a lot of people prefer to stay inside and prefer to like be by themselves more rather than socialize at school, I know a lot of my close ones and a lot of my family members definitely are like losing touch with their friends and some of their peers from school and class because they aren't able to communicate as easily. So I think it's definitely taking a toll on a lot of people's mental health and their ideas and views. And a lot of people can't study as easily from home than at school as well.
So I feel like the main thing, as I agree with everyone else, each of my classmates have reacted differently. But I think the main thing is in person, you could kind of depend on one another if you had a question on this or that. But when you're remote, I've noticed people are kind of like scared to talk when it's kind of silent. So I feel like a lot more people are independent and have learned to rely on themselves more.
During my 7th grade year, there was one teacher named Mrs. Smith. She was our social studies teacher. And what stood out to me was that how she was willing to hear everybody's opinions on everything. She allowed us to talk about politics or religion, about anything, and not shut down our ideas and listen and explain stuff to us. And whenever we had a bad day, she was willing to hear everybody out and calm everybody down and listen to us.
So this question is definitely difficult to answer because I feel that a lot of my teachers from my 7th and 8th grade years have played a big role in who I am today. But one teacher who stood out to me was my English language arts teacher, Mrs. Schoenborn. For example, one time when I was applying to St. Augustine Preparatory School, I had to write an entrance essay. And I emailed Mrs. Schoenborn the essay to proofread it for me. And without hesitation, she took the time out of her Saturday to proofread it for me. Mrs. Schoenborn does not just teach, she teaches with her heart. She always expects everyone to put their best foot forward. I know without a doubt that I can turn to Mrs. Schoenborn to just about anything.
I agree with John that a lot of my teachers from 7th and 8th grade, even all of them, have been absolutely amazing during this time. But I did have one teacher that I could say definitely stood out to me, and that is my orchestra director. I've had her for 2 years, Miss DeSalvio. She stood out to me because during the midst of this whole pandemic, she's stayed so positive and she's just been such a gem. And about 2 months ago, I think, in December, she had the idea for us to have an orchestra party, a festival type of holiday party. And it was such a good idea because I hadn't really bonded with my classmates in orchestra for months. And we even stayed on the Google Meet for hours after she left. And we were talking and having such an amazing time together. And also some days I'm just really not feeling myself at home. And she's been completely understanding if I have any assignments that I don't complete on time because she knows that it's not like me. So she's been very understanding during this whole time period.
As other people said, I feel like I have to give a lot of credit to all of my teachers for adapting and kind of like pushing through this whole situation. But I say the one main teacher that stuck out to me was during this 8th grade year was Mrs. Leapy, my history teacher. She really made learning like fun and provided fun videos and stuff like that with even without being able to do hands-on activities, which if I thought that was going to be a major struggle, that class was going to become kind of like we were just going to be like watching slideshows and stuff like that all day. But I feel like she's really achieved the next aspect of making it really fun.
I'm very lucky this year to have a really good set of teachers that I love a lot, and they're all wonderful teachers. But one that I think stands out to me a lot is my English teacher, Mrs. McLaughlin. Not only does she have such a fun like personality, but before, like in 7th, 6th grade, I was never really that interested in English because I just found it boring or I just found it dull. But this year, when I entered 8th grade and had Miss McLaughlin, she just made it so much more like fun, and I started enjoying English a lot more than before. And she's also like one of the most understanding teachers I've ever had. She understands if we accidentally turn in a late assignment, and she tries not to put too much stress onto us to turn assignments in early because she knows how stressful this time is and she understands the student's point of view. So I'm really grateful for her because she's definitely made my English class a lot more enjoyable.
I would like my high school teachers to know that school is a very safe space for me and that a positive learning environment would be very beneficial to me. I would also want them to know that I would love to go above and beyond, and I'm up for challenges, and I would love them to help guide me along the way. If I have any obstacles that I'm facing, I want them to know that, and I would like to be able to come to them whenever I need their help.
Well, one thing that I would just like every teacher I have in the future to know is that naturally I'm not a very confident or like outspoken or extroverted person. I'm very like shy and timid when it comes to talking to like others and forming connections with others. So one thing I would like my high school teachers for next year to know is that if I don't like maybe at the beginning of the year I won't participate as much or I won't like talk to them as much. It doesn't mean that I don't want to. I would love to, but it's just I'm very shy and nervous when it comes to things like that, and especially when it comes to presentations and everything like that, I get very stressed and nervous.
So one thing I am always open to is challenge. I feel like you're not going to develop without challenge. And with high school being a major development stage, I will work as hard as I can through like academics as well as balancing sports or whatever else I want to pursue. And I just want all my teachers to know that I will try my best to power through anything they throw at me.
Something I would like the teachers in high school to know about me is my ADHD. During middle school, since I wasn't open about it, it caused a lot of problems during class. So being more open about my mental problems, my high school teachers would probably benefit me a lot. And also like knowing that even with my ADHD, I'm open to like all challenges, learning stuff.
So one thing I would like all of my high school teachers to know is that I am very goal oriented. I would love to finish high school and further my education into college. And I think that by my teachers and counselors knowing this, then they can put me on the right track to success and, put me in the classes that I will need to develop the skills and education for college. Yeah, so definitely going to college is one of my biggest goals. I also have many short-term goals as well. Some of my short-term goals are to play basketball and baseball for my high school while keeping the highest GPA I can, to be a part of the brotherhood that St. Augustine Prep offers, and to save enough money for my first vehicle. Some of my long-term goals include to find a career that keeps me financially stable while at the same time being equally as passionate about it, to have a family of my own one day, and to travel the world and see new things.
So I feel like one of the major goals for me is being like successful no matter what I do and enjoying what I do. Because I feel like if you enjoy what you do and you're successful with it, you feel like you're not working a day in your life. So, in goals of achieving that, I do want to go to college, hopefully play sports through high school, through college, and maybe even pursue whatever career presents itself.
Some of my future goals is that I want to become an environmental scientist, and I also want to travel the world one day.
I would love to do in the future would would be to do a job that I love and be surrounded by all the people that I love, because I would also love to have a job that I find exciting, because I can't imagine myself just sitting at a desk and like reading emails all day or like doing paperwork as my job. I would love to travel the world and like see different cultures and countries and everything. And I would love to form new connections with other people that I may have never been able to befriend if it wasn't for my job. So
I have very high aspirations for my future, such as going to college and graduating. I want to be very successful in life. I want to just be happy. But for short term, I would like to finish my middle school career with all A's in our Honor Society program. I would like to express myself through my art and my writing more. And I would also like to try new things, just whatever it is. I just want to try new things.